Hello, everyone, and I welcome you to another Element series by Sonalis Cubo. Here I am, Vayjayanti Pugalia, and I think today's session is very special, very spectacular, very unique, very inspiring, and I think I'll be running short of adjectives very soon because the woman who's sitting next to me virtually down the screen is someone who's phenomenal, someone who has such a huge bracket of fame and galore and creativity and talent around her that I just don't know from where to start and where to stop. But yes, I would be giving a formal introduction to this wonderful woman. But let me start by introducing ViMi Singh to you all. So yes, Vimiji, a formal interview with you is due with a wonderful introduction. But yes, welcome today to today's conversation with me. I'm totally honored to have you.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Vayjayanti, for having me with you on this conversation. I was equally excited about it.
Thank you so much. You know, viewers, a strong-headed woman is someone who is a full circle. So she exactly knows what is the difference between what she wants and what she needs. But who is a powerful woman? A powerful woman is just that woman who knows the difference between the two and then walks on that journey to attain success. A success with building the correct attention around her, by having the right guidance and mentorship, by following other strong women, by keep challenging yourself, and by not depending on the others. Yes, looking out to them for support here and there, but the last dependence is on your own self. The validation that you look out for is from within and not from outside, and this is what makes into a powerful woman. And I think that entire tide is changing. Once upon a time, women would not want to share their area of work, their expertise, their modules with people around. But now they want to influence one another, they want to learn from one another, they want to grow by knowing each other's work. And to do all that is not easy. But today I have with me the very, very inspiring ViMi Singh, who is joining me from Delhi. And I would like to start by introducing Vimiji to everyone, with her degrees starting from BA, LLB to B.Ed. She's a home stylist. She's a home decor consultant. She's done up many celebrity homes, and we'll be talking about that. She is a founder of NAVYA Living and Design, and NAVYA Everything Beautiful. But something that caught to my attention when I was, suggested, or I found out about Vimiji, was that she is probably the only Gypsy Offroader that India has. And she has won many awards around that. And we would be discussing more about her journey when it comes to her arena with the sports, with motorsports, with her being the only Gypsy Offroader, probably her creative skills, etc. So yes, there is lots and lots to talk about. But I would like today's topic to start by asking Vimiji that, Vimiji, you're such an extrovert, and you have pulled in so many different directions, which I just talked about, right from creativity to sports to an influencer. And you happen to come from an army's background. You're an army officer's daughter, and you're an ex-Air Force officer's wife. So where do you get this discipline and this nature from? Is it because of your army background?
Well, extrovert, I guess you're probably born the way you are, or maybe, I don't know, your early ages shape you so. But yes, the entire exposure definitely comes from the way we travel with our parents in the defense forces, the kind of lifestyle we are exposed to. We are exposed to very fine living, etiquettes, class, discipline at very young ages. So I guess I learned all this there, being with my dad, and my dad was also a big time extrovert and a party animal. So he was a happy man. So he raised us to be happy kids. And then, yeah, I got married to an Air Force officer. He was from the fighter stream. He was a fighter pilot. So we also had very lively people around us. And yeah, from Army to the Air Force, I have been introduced to and been dealing with this lifestyle of the defense services. So I guess it comes from there. But I just like happiness around me. I just like positive things around. I would die of loneliness if there were not people around.
I do understand that. But would you like to shine some more of your experience, from your childhood, which you're even carrying today, which has probably crafted you as the woman that you are of today? Something that you would say that, okay, I carry this trait from my childhood.
So, Vayjayanti, the one thing that I will always be grateful to my father would be that if we ever came to him with any questions, he always had an answer for it. And the most interesting and important part was that if I got stuck with something, for example, even when I learned how to drive when I was just 14, and I would ask him how to do it, so he made me change tires and wheels. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you, Vimiji. Your camera is froze, but I can hear you.
Okay, so something else happened. Anyway, yeah. So,
Yeah, you're
uh,
moving. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so he made me change the wheels for the car and would ask me to first learn how to get out of trouble rather than sit behind the driving seat and learn. And also, anytime I came back to him and asked him, "Ki Dad, ye kaise karte hain?" His answer would be, "Karke dekho. Agar nahi hoga, then come back and ask me." So I guess that's where we learned that you've got to try, fail, and then try again and learn how to do it. It's not like everything was not spoon fed to us.
That's
So I guess
correct.
these kind of things, the way he kind of explained things and the way we had to learn our way around things was that nature still stays. That I don't take any opportunity as a failure. Or, like I don't look at it that I may not be able to make it, because I say na to hai hi hai. Agar haan ho gayi to bonus. So I go with that feeling that I'm going to give it a shot. At least I'll sleep better that I tried, and I know that whether I can or I can't do it. So
That
this,
is
I think,
fantastic. That is fantastic. So I think that is from where you get that daredevil spirit of probably being the only gypsy off-roader that India has. And
probably. I haven't met anyone else, and all the competitions I've been in, I haven't seen any other woman driving a gypsy. I guess I took to gypsy because it was the best option to build and make, and really exciting.
so we
So
will talk
probably.
about that. We will talk about that. But as we're talking about the family first, and you spoke about, your father, uh, what would you like to tell us after you got married and becoming an Air Force officer's wife, and now, being able to do so much? Do you have anything to look back to uh, towards your Air Force days, which must have come handy in nurturing your career?
Most certainly. Vajanti, one more thing is that every day of your life teaches you something. Your journey is a learning experience. So I'm sure I have also learned and picked a lot of stuff while I came along. But yes, my Air Force life also taught me. Earlier, I was a daughter, so I had privileges. And then when I was a wife, I had duties. So it taught you how to kind of, shift from there and take the driving seat then, and take life ahead, and then host people, have people over, present yourself, your home. So that part of it. Yeah. And, now if that is something that you definitely learn in this journey. But if you're talking about my husband or something, this defense services, like I always say, are very progressive men. They, I've yet to meet anybody who will say, no, just sit at home and raise the kids. Because everybody will want their wives to be occupied and do something more constructive. If nothing else, the army and the air force provide you a forum. Like you've got the AVA in the army and
Yeah.
AFA in the air force,
Yes,
which
I
is
know.
the women's organization.
Yes, and I'm
They
very lucky enough to have visited the Ava in Delhi, near the airport.
Yeah,
Where I
the
went to meet
central
a
city.
phenomenal woman chef, Kavita ji Dureha. I came to know her from Neeta Mehta Academy, which is set up at Ava, Delhi. So yes,
Yeah.
I do know that so much of skill providing is there. I totally agree to that.
So they kind of give you platforms, they teach you. I have personally seen young brides coming in from, maybe remote places, and you meet them after 2 years, they're completely different
Completely
women, like
different.
completely blossomed, and then they know what they're doing. So it really teaches you a lot. So there's a lot of hand holding that happens in the services by the families.
That's awesome. So, viewers, the ones who've joined me later, I am here chatting. I've just begun my conversation with ViMi Singh, who is a BA and LLB and B.Ed, and she is a designer for lifestyle. She's done up many celebrity homes. She is probably, as she says, India's only gypsy off-roader, and she takes a competitive approach towards this sports, and she's won many awards around it. And who would believe that she's 51 years old? And why I am just identifying that number is because, guys, you should take this up as an inspiration, that if you could look as killer as Vimiji at this age, so I'm sure that
You've been
something
kind.
she has done right. So Vimiji, I would like to now talk to you about Navya. So
Yeah.
your passion with designing and lifestyle curating. So tell me, how did Navya came about, and what are your plans with it?
So, well, that's my favorite baby. That's the one I love the most. It truly is the love of my life. And so, what happened is when I was doing my law, I realized pretty early that I will not be pursuing a legal profession. I was not cut out for a job. I always had interest in beautiful homes, picking up stuff. Given an option, I would shop for my house more than my clothes or something like that. So, once I was so bored, I started buying. There's this very traditional fabric in Punjab called the fulkari.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm talking at least 25 years ago. I started buying this fulkari and making uh, home linen out of it, and nobody was doing it. I was probably amongst the first few we started doing it, and I was a vendor to, there used to be this Ebony. There used to be a chain of stores called Ebony back then,
Mhm.
and then to even Jagdish stores in Delhi. I used to supply stuff there,
Right.
and then while being in the services, I was traveling with my husband. I kept doing tinkering around with local fabrics, local products, and things like that. And once we decided to settle down, and I am one hell of a traveler. I love traveling. I think I'm a vagabond at heart. So I love traveling. So I used to pick up a lot of things, and then my house was too full. And every time I came back, people would frown, give more stuff for the house. So I just thought that, and I'd begun designing for people. I'd started restyling their homes. It just occurred to me one day that, I could feed my love for shopping for home by having a store where I can keep putting all this stuff, and I can use it when I'm doing up people's homes. So in 2011, I started my store in Delhi in the Meherchand market,
Okay.
and we haven't looked back. It has got all the love from a lot of people. We made our place, and after that, we've opened quite a few more, and it's been a good journey. So Navya is my favorite baby. I love it.
Yes, and I happened to check some beautiful pictures of Navya on Instagram. I think your stuff, your curated items and your designs there are just phenomenal. Very, very beautiful. And you already have, I think, what, more than three stores around in different parts. Yeah. That's very interesting. But there is one very inspiring thing that you said with Navya the other day to me, that you're also sort of giving this platform to artisans and new designers to come forward and showcase their work. Would you like to say something about that?
So Vajanti, it isn't an easy job getting into business and making a place and then retailing your product. It's not an easy job. And I haven't forgotten a single day of my journey to where I am today.
Hmm.
And I realized that, and when you go out and you meet such wonderfully talented, and I'm going to specify women because I try to make this a platform for women. So there's such beautifully talented women, such creative women who are sitting at home making lovely things, but they don't have an outlet to kind of bring it out.
True.
And I kind of asked them to come and sell it at Navya. And first few months I leave it like we won't take any part of it. If it starts selling, then whatever you decide, we'll go talk of business terms later.
Right.
So we try to give them our, the genre, the way our store looks. So we try and get their stuff curated according to our look, and they come up beautifully. So this is how I decided. Then even if there are artisans, and we try to make them do things. Basically, what do they want? They want a place where they can create and sell and make some money out of it. You know, they can't just keep making and keeping it at home.
True, true. They
So
do need a platform to express
livelihood,
that.
and
Yeah,
it's a livelihood, right?
right.
And if they get frustrated, they give up on the beautiful craft that they're talented at.
Very true.
So we try to give them that platform, that come make for us, make it our way, we'll sell it for you.
Right.
And I want to be that little one step in their ladder to success.
That's very motivating. Plus, these people who are coming forward, they get the feedback and they get that push, that they can do better. And I'm sure you must be guiding them as to they see the trend in the market which is going on, and they can mold their products.
So
And
Vayjayanti, whenever there is a young woman who joins us and she's not very confident, but I really love what she does, and she leaves a few things with me, and I'm dead sure I'll be able to sell it for her. So the first month when I call her and I tell her that, we sold this, can you make some more? I love the joy that you hear in their voice. I love that feeling that I feel the love I get from them, because they feel so much of, uh, as if they've kind of arrived and they've made it, and they've got a place to now start selling. So that's a great feeling, and I like doing that. I like sharing that joy with them.
so tell me something. These entrepreneurs, these young designers, artisans, do they come more from the urban areas, or they're more from the rural sectors?
Both, both.
Okay.
See,
Okay.
sometimes it is like, for example, I'm going to give you a very small example. There's this lady who works in my house. And one day there was no electricity, and she brought up this little hand fan for me and said, something wrong with the inverter or whatever. So she brought up this little hand fan, and she says, I made this. And she'd made it out of all leftovers of plastic.
Oh,
And it was so colorful, so vibrant. I just couldn't believe it, that when the hell does this girl get the time to do all this stuff? She said, no, in our village we do it a lot.
right.
So I told her, please make some for me. And I just told her, okay, I want a little frill here, a little this color, a little that color. She'd weaved in the written part of the plastics. I told her, let's not have the written part. So just modified her, gave her a little vision on it all. And we started selling them. And she couldn't believe it, that apart from working in my house, she could make money out of selling those fans in my store. And I told her, I took her to the store one day and I told her, here is where you sell. So
Right.
she was like feeling like a big businesswoman walking into the store. That's
Right.
a great feeling. That's a lovely feeling. So they're from all over. Wherever I see anything pretty, I just get them on.
That is so inspiring. Like, you have a store, you're a designer, you can procure the products, and you are anyway doing these celebrity homes, and you have a retail out of your store. You're growing your business, but at the same time, it's your mission also to support the newbies who are entering in the form of artisans or designers, and taking them ahead. That's what I just said initially in the beginning of our talk. The times have changed, and everybody wants to empower each other, learn from each other, though it's not very easy. But you are a living prodigy about it, so it's
So
totally
generally
phenomenal.
what happens is that the first few years of your life, when you struggle and you set up your business
Right.
and you start feeling, all right, my car is rolling.
Yeah.
There comes a time in your profession or in your journey when you want to say, well, I know, when you meet somebody who's got the passion to do something, and your heart says, I know, baby, how hard it is, and
Yeah.
you just want to help them and hold their hand and take them forward. So it's
That
a
is
good
true.
feeling, it's a nice thing. And it's not as if I am helping them. I always tell myself I should never take credit for doing what I do. Of course, they're helping my store, they're bringing such beautiful stuff to my store.
Right.
I've got things which a lot of people don't have, because there are these wonderful people who are making it for me. So they are also adding to value to my store if I am helping them out.
That is true. That is true. That it's like give and take, but it really takes a lot of challenge and guts, to believe in someone and take that person ahead. As you said, handhold that person in the initial years. So now that the COVID has sort of changed, everybody is working Vimiji, and what are your plans with Navya, and how do you plan to carry on in these times that we are in, or even in the near future?
So definitely everything is getting digital. There's no doubt about that, because people are not venturing out. They're not visiting stores. So we are making sure that, we make our online presence and digital presence even more stronger. If they can't come to us, we are going to them. We are trying to reach out to them through our various platforms. And also we are trying to, like I said, all these people, it's a very interesting thing that I just told them, that we kind of interconnected our platforms. And I told them that if I share yours, you share mine, we reach more number of
Yes,
people.
very true.
So
You know,
that is
all
what.
the talks that I've been doing now till now, Vimiji, one thing which I always talk about whenever the topic comes about changing your mindset and your marketing abilities and strategy during COVID, I have always stressed on the fact of the word collaboration. That
That's the word.
collaboration is the right, maybe it's monetizing, maybe it's not, maybe it monetizes in later days to come. But what important is visibility, and that visibility comes only through collaboration. That's very important. So viewers, here is this lady who is a BA, LLB, and coming from a B.Ed background, having done designing, celebrity homes, everything. And would you believe that she is also probably India's only Gypsy Offroader, taking it into a competitive level. She has done many competitions around it. She's enthusiastic when it comes to sports, and especially motorsports. So Vimiji, how did this passion come about? Gypsy and racing and getting this all muddy and going on to God knows what tracks here and there. So how does this come about?
So, well, I was doing a lot of adventure drives. Like I said, a vagabond at heart. So I was doing a lot of adventure drives, and I done some to Leh, to Spiti, to upper reaches of Uttarakhand, down south. I've done a lot of that stuff. If not with groups, with friends, with family. So I always loved driving. Once we driven up to Leh, and then ahead Soker, Somoriri, the upper reaches. When I came back, I thought, well, we've done it. We can't keep going back to the place again and again. Maybe for the beauty of it, but that's it. You've done it. And one of my friends' Facebook page, I happened to see some off-roading once. And I called up a very dear friend of mine who was at one of our drives. And I asked him what this was. And he told me that this is off-roading and it's damn interesting. You should try your hand at it. And I asked him to put in a word for me to the person who was running the track. And he did. And I went there and I drove their Gypsy. And at the first time itself, I could do all the obstacles and everything, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was as if I found my calling, kind of a feeling that this is really what I want to do. And I
So how
still
long back
remember it
did
was.
you start this? Like how long back?
This is about 4 years back.
Okay, okay, okay.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that was another thing. Everybody would look at me strangely that this late in life you want to start doing all this. It's your son's time to do stuff like this. So in fact, at many competitions, many of the young boys would tell me कि मैम आपके बेटे के करने की उम्र है. And I say, well, if you like to think so.
Did you
So
need to do any formal training about it? Like, yes, you did go to the tracks, you were able to do the obstacles, but then was it like some formal training that you had to go through, etc.?
yes, the owner of the track, who's also a friend of mine, was a trainer. And he actually put in a lot of effort. He trained me very well. I trained with him for 5-6 months. He actually taught me the basics and the nuances. And then there were a lot of, the driving community is such that if you're there and you drive with them, every single day is actually learning. Nobody can say that they've learned. So every single day and all the time I went out, I drove with the boys or the girls, everything. So I was learning every single day. But yes, I have done the basics and my trainer taught me that. And then after that is basically practice. You keep trying new terrains, you drive with different groups, and everybody in the group will help you. So
So you're
that's
talking
how
about
it.
group. So is there like a team? Like as you said, the track that you represented. What
So
about your
there are,
teammates?
yes, so there are actually many off-roading teams. Unfortunately, how people know rallying, a lot of people don't know about off-roading. It's an even more exciting format of motorsports. So there are many teams. Delhi has like the Terrain Tigers, the NIOC, the Northern Overlanders. Chandigarh has Garari Offroaders, the Off-Road Tribe, whole lot of them. There are many groups that operate, and all of them are fabulous off-roaders. I drive with a particular team called the Desert Raiders Club that's based out of Rajasthan. I represent them in my competitions. I drive with them, and they are the boys who actually train me. All probably half my age.
Yeah,
But the
I just wanted to know about, as you talk about the teammates and you talk about, so what is the other age group? Like, they must be totally astonished seeing, a person like a mid-age coming and joining their team.
I think I am the oldest there. Of course, there are certain men who drive who are older, but they are into rallying and speeding. In the off-roading arena, I'm probably the oldest woman around, definitely.
So can
Like the only
you
woman
share
in the
some
Gypsy,
light
probably.
into off-roader? What does it exactly mean?
I didn't get your question. What was that?
So, as you said that the other men are more into racing and speed, and you are more into
So there
off-road.
are, yeah, so there are different formats of motorsports. Motorsports has a lot of stuff. You can, if you're speed driving, you can be doing it on the tarmac, you could be doing it on the dirt, you could be doing it on sand. Then there is off-roading as a particular format. Off-roading is actually, they've got all these, obstacles which are like climbs and
Right.
drops
Yeah,
and
yeah. I
that
get
kind
that
of
now.
stuff. So
I get
that's a
that now.
completely different format.
So,
So
would you say like this is more like a male-dominated area? Are there
it
more
is.
there?
Off-roading certainly is male dominated. Off-roading certainly is male dominated, but some of the best guys are off-roaders, as in, you know how it is. Anybody who's into sports is always a person who's of a different kind of a mental framework. They're helping each other.
True.
So I would never say that I felt any discrimination or woman. There are a lot of women who are also doing off-roading, but
Right.
like they come as a pastime, or they come to just enjoy the thing, and then they're doing good vehicles like they would do Fortuners, or they will do. There are women doing off-roading in Thars. The Thar, yeah. So there are a lot of women who off-road in the Thar,
Okay.
and yeah, Fortuner is a very popular off-roading vehicle that women use. So in fact, there is this ultimate desert challenge that happens in Rajasthan, and you see about 5-6 women definitely participating. They're driving Fortuners and Thars. Yes, it's a male-dominated sport, but they never let you feel small, out of place, or anything. I have no such bad story to tell ever.
So do you think this particular sport, off-roading or motorsports in general, does it have the right visibility in India? What would you say?
See, it's just the thrill that people attach to rallying and speed and all that, so people know. But once, if anybody got to see off-roading, I'm sure it's very exciting. Yes, there are certain events which happen, which are you know off-road events. Now the point is that off-roading is not considered as a FMSCI event, which is the Federation of Motorsport doesn't recognize it as part of it, so it doesn't get that kind of visibility. But there are some very big time events in off-roading happening even in India, and the best of all is the Rainforest Challenge that happens in Goa, the RFC. So the off-road, and Mahindra is also supporting. The Mahindra company supports off-roading. They've got some academies near Nasik.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but recognition as a sport, they don't have it. It's various clubs which will compete and things like that.
So do you have any plans with this motorsports and building something like a platform for women, or guiding more women into it? Like, do you have any future plans when it comes to this sector?
See, I always love to help whoever wants my help, but I haven't planned anything as in mentoring, because I feel I'm still learning myself, and I want to keep learning, and I keep training. I want to keep training, and there's so much more to learn. It's a long journey. I've just probably taken baby steps in it, and
Right.
so when we come to that, we'll see. But right now, I'm focusing on myself learning quite a bit and not leaving any opportunity to drive with people and learn more.
That is fantastic. So viewers, here is this woman from having such formal degrees to designing into an off-roader, and she is doing it all. And she says that the male dominant pragmaticness of the society does not belong to this sector, wherein because of the sports mentality, they welcome you, they train you, they guide you, and that's fantastic. And so now probably you must be really missing this part now, Vimiji. Is there a particular season for this when this happens? Like you said, there's a desert festival or the rainforest league that happens. So are there
Yes,
like
the summer months, it doesn't really happen much, though there are one or two rallies which happen in the desert in, say, August, September.
Mhm.
But mainly it starts off from, August onwards and ends around April. That's the last you see of it, because then it's very, very warm. It's an outdoor thing. Your vehicles are warm. So it's that kind of a time that
It's,
they use
I
the
think I'm
most.
already feeling so nostalgic thinking about it, that how beautiful it must be to be on the
It
tracks,
is.
and the usher of energy that you must be feeling when you're in that. Probably it must be igniting more creative skills in you, because you just get so de-stressed on the tracks.
Yes, it is a huge stress buster. It's a beautiful feeling to be able to be in control of your vehicle. It's a lovely feeling to be on the track with people who are, motivating you and encouraging you to do even better than what you were doing yesterday. So it's a great feeling. I'm already itching to get back on the track. It's like the lockdown has kind of
I can
put all of
imagine.
us, yeah.
I can imagine. So it's like when you're driving your, your car. Also, you take the control, and you are the one who's riding your vehicle.
Well, I'm married to a fighter pilot who's more aggressive than I am. So when at home, everybody, you know how the story is, ghar ki murgi dal barabar, barabar.
Yeah, yeah, I
At
get
home,
that.
do not tell me you don't know how to drive. So that's okay. I just let it be, let them have the fun. But yes, if there are any long drives, I definitely am behind the wheel. I try to hog most of the driving part of it because I love it. I drive and I'm in the sport for the passion of it, for the love of it.
I can
Competition
actually
comes
see
by
your
the way.
face brightening with this topic. I can totally relate to that. And tell me about your experience as a columnist, as an influencer. That's amazing, where you are endorsing brands. Like you said, was it Joha Jewelers? Yeah,
Zoya.
Zoya
Zoya.
Jewelers. Yeah, and
Zoya Jewels. It's an offshoot of Tanishq. It's a
okay,
Tata company.
all right. So how has your journey been when it comes to where you feel this rush and this power, where you as an influencer, you are able to endorse brands, and probably people get inspired saying, oh wow, who's this woman behind this? So how does that success make you feel?
Uh, Vayjayanti, I don't consider myself successful because the moment you feel you've arrived is the end of your journey. So I don't feel so. And many times when people tell me that you inspire, I sometimes inwardly think like, how? What have I done? And I'm just being myself. I just do what my heart tells me to do. I'm totally heart driven, and I enjoy what I do, and I love whatever I do. I want to put my 100% into it. So I'm happy that if people think that I am kind of inspirational, but to myself, I never feel such a thing. I always feel I've got a long way to go, and success is something which is far, far away.
So going back to Navya, Vimiji, I had this question. You also shared with me that you've done so many celebrity homes, and so how was the experience then? Like, if you could, like, without taking any names, or if you would want to, if you want to share, some experience around that, that would be so awesome.
Yeah, sure. I've done quite a few of these celebrity homes in Delhi and in Mumbai. I've done television and film people's homes. I've done some resorts in Uttarakhand and in Rajasthan. Uh,
Okay.
a lot of homes in and around Delhi and Chandigarh and all that stuff. In Punjab, I've done quite a few in Ludhiana.
Okay.
My experience, one of the best ones, which I have never ever forgotten, is that I was doing this one very big time director producer's house in Mumbai. I was asked, and I went probably 7 or 8 times back and forth from Delhi to Bombay, and we had meetings and we had a whole lot of stuff. And we kind of, did a lot of planning, brainstorming. And suddenly, after about 20 or I don't know, I'm not telling you a very pleasant one, but this was something which taught me quite a bit.
Yeah, please
So,
do.
so after about 20 days, I get a call that, I've got some financial issues. We're stalling the whole thing and we'll probably do it later. And then I realized that all the ideas that I shared, all the plans that I shared, the bugger got a set designer and got it done from them.
Okay.
So I'm
And
a
we were
set
just
designer
talking
gets
about
a set.
sharing our ideas freelancing way, we were just talking about that. So, but then what did you learn from there? Now, that is something I want to ask you.
Yes, not to open your mouth before you signed under the dotted line. So, because I'd shared drawings, I'd shared everything, color schemes and plans, and 15 days I put into that damn thing. And suddenly I hear that the set designer. I mean, then it makes you feel miserable that what you are thinking you are doing, a set designer has gotten up and done it. So that was something I learned about it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, Vimiji, I would like you to tell the viewers about where they can see, the products of Navya, your handle on Instagram, so that they can connect to it directly. Do you have a website? In case any artisans or any collaboration people want to work out with you, where can they reach you? Obviously, besides going through me, and I'll be very happy to connect them to you. But other than that, if you would like to tell about your visibility on the social media platforms or website, please go ahead.
So well, I have this that we have this website, and which is navyastore.com, and we've got an Instagram handle which is Navya Meherchand. We've got Facebook pages which is Navya Living and Design, Navya Meherchand, Navya Chandigarh, and just a Navya. So why we have these different pages is we cater to different cities, so that the products sometimes are different for different places.
Definitely.
And of course, they can always call me for anything. I'm absolutely accessible and available anytime anybody wants to speak with me. So that's how they can reach us.
So the viewers who join us later, here is a lady, ViMi Singh. She is a proud founder of Navya, Everything Beautiful, and Navya Design and Living, and she has done up celebrity homes. She is also, promoting a lot of artisans and entrepreneurs with their work, because she believes that she knows how it is to handhold in your initial days when you get support for someone who is stable and has been there and done it. She has crazy plans with Navya, and she has modified her work digitally the way most women are in these times, to reach out to the ones who can take the full advantage of the visibility of the products. And here is this lady also, besides of all the creative angle that I spoke to you about, India's only Gypsy Offroader in a competitive level. And she told me not to say this, but she has won many awards around it, and she's totally indebted to her mentors. So much of success, so much of galore, Vimiji, so much of love and affection and acceptability you've got in your career. I love the way you say that, Vayjayanti, I've not had to face much of hardship. I would not say that I've had a very obstacle prone life. And yes, we all have to prove our work. That is something there. But how do you remain so humble and so grounded with so much of, proud accolades your way? How do you manage that?
I don't know, Vayjayanti. I think I just like being modest and humble, because I think my goals are much higher than what I think I may have achieved, or people think that I have achieved. I've got a long, long journey. And and also, it's the love and affection that I get from people. I would never give up that. It's always nice to be accessible, so that you make more friends. And like I said, I'm an extrovert. I love life. So I would never compromise meeting and having fun with people and friends by just being arrogant about anything. And about what? Like I said, my goals are much higher. I still want to achieve a lot. My dreams are much bigger. And I think I still have a long way to go. So this is probably just one step of my life, and the ladder is too tall.
I think I'm in totally awe with the way you say, the way you talk. You're a fabulous orator, Vimiji. And, viewers, I can go on and on about saying that how talented Vimiji is. And you can check out more of her work on Instagram and NAVYA.com about her creative skills, or read about her as a Gypsy Offroader and such a phenomenal lady at the age of 51. Now, this time I got this correct, Vimiji. Yes. But I would want to say that it's more the hard work behind the talent, which we should account for. Because if you're not willing to put in that hard work, your talent is a total waste. And however inspiring your work is, however influential you can turn out to be, you can only get that if you are working hard. And as Vimiji just says that just you should be a go-getter. You should just, if you have an ideation, you should just start with it, and not look back, and things would fall in place. Because the main thing is to utilize your resources and utilize
Right.
your time, so that ultimately it is you who has to push yourself, because no one else is going to come and do that work for you. If you think you have
Absolutely.
the ability, you should do it. Because here is this lady who, even after having a formal degrees, coming from an affluent army and a air officer's background, she committed her work to designing, to writing, and then in her idea, in her interest towards motorsports. So yes, if you feel you need it more than you want it, as I said in the initial league of our conversation, you have to make your desire actually very needy, and not just that you want to do it, just like you have to
Right.
do it. And it's only then that you attain success. So yes, if you want to read and know more about Vimiji, please reach out to her on Instagram and on navya.com, or you can connect with me, and I would feel happy enough to make you reach out to her. So thank you so much, Vimiji, for joining in this
Thank
conversation. But before you go, you speak so beautifully. Before you go, I would like you to leave the viewers with some inspiring work, support that you want to give away to the women, generally to the women who aspire to do something in life.
If you hadn't asked me, Vayjayanti, I would have nudged for that statement. And I would have told you that, Vayjayanti, I want to have women understand and remember that they have me. I'm a platform. I'm available, totally accessible. Uh, any way I can help them reach, I mean, whether they are in Delhi or not in Delhi, they make something beautiful. Please get in touch with me, and I'll be happy. If not with me, I'll connect them to wherever it works for them.
That
For
is
sure. And
that.
I really believe in women empowerment, and especially helping them out in becoming financially, economically, and mentally independent.
That's
That's very
amazing,
important.
Vimiji. I wish you all the best for all your future endeavors. And I soon hope that, you are again into your heights of being a phenomenal off-roader. And, maybe somewhere, I'll be able to witness that more. But yes, I do wish you all the very best in any inspiring and aspiring work that you intend to do. All the very best, Vimiji.
Thank you, Vayjayanti. Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye. Take care.